number 2 on a Thursday, and that can only mean one thing here on One Bills Live. It means we're joined in studio by the Hall of Famer Thurman Thomas, who I want to ask right off the rip. Okay, we see the Bills against the number 1 run defense last week. It's tough sledding.
Yeah.
And Joe Brady chooses to use Khalil Shakir as a replacement for the run game, and he did that effectively.
Yeah.
This week they go against the number 2 run defense in the league in Denver. How do they make the run game more effective this week?
Well, I think, first of all, I think we have to put Cook in a right position to be able to run the football.
Okay.
Would that be coming off a turnover? You're talking about a long drive because, as we saw, like, Ty didn't play. So, I mean, I was looking at Frank Gore Jr. there, and and I'm like,
It was
okay,
just him.
It was just him, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, what can we do now to go against a Denver team? I think you will see Cook a little bit more involved with the passing game, just on the fact of how Denver plays their defense. I mean, their front 4 can get after you. Mm-hmm. The linebackers are pretty solid.
Yeah.
I really do like them, but I think in space, if you can do that with Cook, like, come back to some of the checkdowns we ran at the end of the year, right? Where are those at? Just little checkdowns, 5-6 yards or whatever.
Yep.
But keep him involved with the football game, and like those guys are, their front 4 are not big guys.
Yeah.
They're kind of okay. Well, either
Athletes,
all of they are athletes, and all of them can be defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
They almost play, but they're
Yeah.
playing defensive tackle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but they're small with a number 1 rushing. I mean. But I looked at their schedule. They didn't really play too many good running backs play.
They did not.
They did not. And this is a different atmosphere. So in this game, I see Cook being a little bit more involved. And I think if the Bills can win time of possession, I think they win the football game.
Well, they led the league in time of possession.
And that's going to be a key factor up in, the altitude. And I have been up there once and played, and
I never felt it.
Yeah.
Of course, I only played like one play out of it. I guess maybe that I've been saying all week it's not going to be a big deal. You're sitting there going, yeah, it kills you.
I felt it a little bit up
All
in
right.
Denver. Yeah.
What did you think last week at Jacksonville when the run, they were kind of beating their head against the wall in the run game, but they used the passing game, the short passes, quick release as an extension of their running game? I mean, Khalil had 12 targets, 12 catches, and a long of like 12. I mean, everything he did was just real short, and they just ran the ball with him and a long handoff. Are you okay with that? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with, whatever Josh is comfortable with when he's playing against a defense like Vance Joseph. I mean, whatever he's comfortable with, he's going to be able to change some plays up front, call an audible or whatever. But I think he's at a point now where, he's like, man, I can pretty much do whatever I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I think even with being in Denver, I still think you still look for the long ball with Brandon Cook. I still think you keep that in your arsenal that you can use. You got to threaten them with him. They're going to play 7, 8 in the box on you. To take away that. So, and I'm not so. Hey, look, I think Bo Nick's going to be a good quarterback, but we don't know yet. Mm-hmm. We don't know yet how.
Year.
He's had a good year, but you're the number 1 seed. Coming in against Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, who a lot of people think might get to the Super Bowl. And it's what I said a couple of weeks ago about, hey, I'm Josh Allen. You guys still need about a year or 2 because I'm coming for you. And it was a perfect example of that last week against Jacksonville. And I think even if they do get pressure, we could still see some long runs by Josh to take off.
Yeah. What do you make, because a couple of the new additions to their defense are veteran players. They felt they needed to add a veteran presence to their defense, and they did that with 2 guys they signed in free agency from San Francisco, Hufanga, the safety, and Dre Greenlaw, the linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
How can veteran players that have been through a lot of those playoff wars of the past help a young defense like Denver in a spot like this?
And you said that, and you look at Jacksonville defense. They played well, but, do they have that veteran? Did they have that veteran? I don't really know. The guy that they had maybe went for 7 or 8 years have been. I think it might have been Josh Allen, the defensive end. But I think with these guys, they're absolutely they've been there before. I know Greenlaw. I've seen him play before when he played for the San Francisco 49ers, and I think we have that here. Those guys can calm those guys down, rather than a coach can, because obviously you got your coach, but you got a guy who's been in that position, who's done these things, and I think that helps, to have a veteran guy on the side. I mean, I enjoy having Jordan Poirier here, to help these guys, and we talked about it like all the time, and who came up with the interception, man? Cole Bishop. We've been talking about Cole, and I've heard stories about him, he doesn't want to really do anything but just study the game, and I think that goes along with being right there with Jordan Poirier. I think that veteran leadership has really carried into him, and man, when he you had an old guy in Trey White, ball in the air. He's already signaling
that was great.
That was great, man. That's that communication. Like Cole is going to be in the right place at the right time, because if you look at it, it wasn't really a good throw. Like it should have went.
An okay throw.
It was an okay throw.
Caught against air.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Trey was there. And
Trey was there,
and that's they had 9 pass defense in that game, which is amazing. The corners, safeties, and even the D linemen batting them down. They're really playing well against the pass right now.
Yeah.
The run game is still, you still got to.
It's got to be better.
You got to ratchet
Got to
it
be
up.
better, right?
And they get some help because the offense is usually pretty efficient, and they feel like, well, they're not going to have enough possessions,
Right.
so they're going to throw the football, and they do well enough at times in the run game.
Yeah.
They'll string a couple of plays together. Where all of a sudden, 2 run plays in a row. And now it's 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12. So they get into the third.
They do.
So their defense has really. Brownie's been reciting the numbers. The Bills' defense ranks higher from week 10 till now than the Denver Broncos does.
In a number of pass coverage.
Pass coverage.
A number of categories. They've really upped it a notch, even though they're not getting sacks.
Including takeaways.
Yeah.
So
Broncos get a lot of sacks.
Isn't that around games ago, 6 or 7 games that you talked about, like Shaq Thompson got his first start and he was like, yeah, this is the way we got to bring it every single week. I think with him being out there, and we talked about that leadership with Greenlaw, this is our leadership right here. And those guys, 42, gotta keep forgetting his
Dorian
name.
Williams.
I seen them a lot on the field Sunday.
Well, and he's a big part of that 3-3-5 nickel package, and they use him as a rusher.
Yeah, and those guys can move. Shaq can still move, and so I think you're seeing a different defense totally, really, because I think they have like guys that can run. You know what I'm saying? Guys that are really good in space, and the leadership is just he's been huge, man. He's been huge for this defense.
Yeah, that. What are your thoughts now? You see this? We're watching this pickoff by Shaq Thompson. Shaq grabs it, takes off the other way. Your thoughts about the quarterback making the tackle, Trevor Lawrence? I told Brownie this. Back in the day, you'd hear the defenders going, "Get the quarterback!
Get the quarterback, right?
Get the quarterback!"
That's the first thing they do.
And Trevor Lawrence comes in, he breaks down, makes this tackle. Nobody trying to block him.
Right.
And they don't. Back in the day, and they wouldn't have cared who else was trying to make the tackle. The quarterback was not going to make the quarterback was going to end up in the first row, right?
You'd have 3 guys going.
That's
to
right,
him.
and they'd be on top of him. If
It's a little different
there's
now.
a rule.
It's a little different now.
It's a little different now, but it's not different if the quarterback's coming up trying to make a play.
Trying to make a play.
If he's
Right,
trying to make
exactly.
a
If
play,
he's trying to make a play,
he
he's
is
all game.
fair game.
Yes, he is.
He's fair game.
Totally
And
agree
in
with
this
that.
case, he comes up, makes a tackle.
But I think that initial thought from a defensive lineman or a linebacker is like, I can't hit him. I might get called for a penalty.
Man, you got to light him up.
Back then, you got to light him up. If
Do you think they'd have taken it easy on Josh if he was doing that? No,
They didn't take it easy on Josh this game here.
They would have come after him.
Yeah.
I just think
and that's probably what Denver's going to do.
And I know it sounds cheap.
Right. Because we don't want
It's
our
not-
guy
it's
to get
not
hurt.
cheap.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. It's free. There's a difference.
Yeah.
It's free, and you got to take the free stuff.
So I'm saying right now, Josh.
If he's going to come in and try and be a football player, remind him why he ain't. That's my point.
But you know what? That might be a challenge to Josh, though. I'm gonna tackle his butt.
Well,
he may hit you back.
He's doing everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
He's doing everything else, so why not?
I want to run something else past you because, as you know, 2 of the top 5 receivers on the roster went to IR this week, Shavers and Davis. Your team went through a similar thing. I believe it was the 95 playoffs where this guy to your right had to step in at receiver a little bit more, along with, another player or 2 at the receiver position. How do you like recalibrate as an offense when you have to insert players into your passing game like that
Well,
in a week's time?
yeah. What I think now is that, we've been kind of talking about it, but not talking about it all year long. I mean, this is the time for Keon Coleman to really step up. Like, I hate those guys are gone, but I think he can replace both of those guys. You get me?
Absolutely.
Even with the slant routes and even with coming in and being part of the running game, man, Keon Coleman is a big dude.
Yeah.
And if he puts his mind to what he needs to do right now, because he's back in the spotlight now.
Yeah, but even in a more general sense, the guys that are going to be on the field are going to be guys who have been in the building and know the words.
Yeah.
Josh's going to know what they're thinking, and they're going to know the offense. They're going to have taken reps in the offense. They're going to have probably played in the games at this point with all these
With all the injuries,
With all the injuries, all these guys have rotated through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a guy like Wilkerson, who they just signed to the practice squad, and he was in training camp with them, and he's a physical specimen. He's not. I don't think he's on the table for this game because they want guys who. I mean, you got to know what you're doing.
You got to be buttoned up.
You got to be buttoned up, and
Curtis Samuel.
I think that lowers the menu. It's Curtis Samuel if he's
Might be
available.
Hardman
If he's
too.
available.
Mecole Hardman, McCole Hardman might be available, and then like Keon. Keon's got to
Yeah.
play bigger. He's got to take more snaps.
Yeah, I most certainly do, and I think you get him involved in a ball game early, so he's not out there on an island. He's just I've been 10 plays and they haven't come my way just yet. You know what?
Right.
Get him early. We're going to be doing the running game, so I think he will be involved early with that. So yeah, I think his mindset had to be this is a time for me to shine, and I hope he does well, man. I mean I really like the kid. Andre said so many good things about him. It's just some things that that come up or whatever, man. I mean, I can remember the first day when he got here, man. He was just funny. Could he take some cookies and all this other stuff? And, sometimes it can backfire on you, and it did, unfortunately for him. But I think this is a golden opportunity for him to come out and play one that's probably his best. We're looking at it, it should be his best game as a Buffalo Bill.
Right.
If he's used right and if he's on cue.
Right. It'll be interesting to see, no question. But I don't know, by the same token, you look back at, and we're watching highlights of the Jet game, and you forget in the Jet game, he had 3 targets, 3 catches.
And that punt right there.
Yeah.
And the
that
2-point
punt right
conversion.
there. That 2-point conversion right there, that was just a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
That's all that was a lot of frustration, like
Punt the ball.
let me punt the ball. I just need to do something, and just let it all out. So it was. I thought that was real cute. Man.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean,
we're going to need him.
Everybody's going to have to. It's all hands on
need
deck.
everybody.
They need everybody.
And, they're going to need everybody playing their best.
We saw Alec Anderson reinserted on offense. It was only 3 snaps as a 6th offensive lineman. Now, most of the season, it's been Jackson Hawes and, 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends or 2 tight ends with Reggie on the field. Is there anything to be explored there further, do you think, to go bigger against the Broncos?
I mean, it could happen. So we talked earlier about how not real big the defensive line are. So, I mean, what are they going to do? Only thing they're going to do is just bring another linebacker in.
Yeah.
That's all they're going to
Put
do,
somebody else in
right?
the
So,
box.
I mean, obviously he'll be in a position to be like, it's just a linebacker.
Yeah.
It's just a guy that I would normally get if I was just starting 5.
The kind of thing that you see in games like this is you'll get into if you go heavy, go like 6 offensive linemen, 3 tight end, go heavy. What a lot of teams will do, what I've seen happen, and you remember, like Teddy Marchibroda walking us through this. They got into these big people like this, and then every time they were in it, they'd throw out of that, and because the other team would match with heavy people. and our big people were better in the passing game than their big people were in the pass defense game.
Yeah.
And then conversely, you'd go real light, go 3 or 4 wide, and come out, condense the formation, and run out of it because of the formations and because of the matchups of the defense.
Yeah.
So both things can be true. I mean, you could go heavy and throw it, or go light and run it, or vice versa. You can do the obvious as well: spread them out and throw it, or condense it down, go heavy, and just hand it off. But both those things you'll see exploited if it's there, if the Bills think it's there offensively.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right?
and don't back off of it. If it's working,
It's going to be a close game. They're going to be able to do whatever
going
they
to be a
want.
close game.
They're not going to take much off the menu.
But I think if Cook is having a great first quarter, first series or two, running the football, I think that kind of determines what kind of game we're going to have.
Wear it out.
What kind of game we're going to have. And even with that, I mean, I still continue to look at Josh's numbers in the playoffs.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I'm still like, if I wasn't a football fan, I look at those numbers, I would think he would have at least 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Just by looking at those numbers. I mean,
Well, he's the
I
only
mean,
guy.
he's the only guy to ever do whatever he just did, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, and I think he's the only quarterback with 8 postseason wins without an appearance in the Super Bowl.
right.
So-
He's on a list with, I was showing Thurman this, somebody just put it out. He's on a list with, I believe it's Brady, Mahomes, and
Who else
Troy
got
Aikman.
3?
Troy
Yeah.
Aikman. The only guys to win a playoff game in 6 consecutive years.
Yep.
All 3 of those other guys have 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
At least 3 Super Bowl appearances.
right.
And Josh has, as we know, he's got 0.
Right.
That's when Bills fans are sitting there.
But
going,
I'll tell you, man.
When's it our turn?
What the what?
I mean, if he keeps performing like this, and hey, look, I don't talk about the other guys, but with the roster that he has for offense, to go to a Super Bowl, I mean, you're going to either go to New England or the Texans again
Yeah.
and win that, and probably going to go against probably the best team in the league, I think, Seattle, if things supposed to go that way.
Yeah.
And he does that. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
the possibilities
Right.
Right.
are there for all of this, and I'm not trying to. I'm a Buffalo Bill. I'm a hype. I want to believe that's what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
What are your thoughts about the potential of Ed Oliver being reinserted into the lineup? What kind of difference could he make if he's
think-
cleared to play this week?
I think he can make a great difference. I mean, he started off on fire, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
First,
This is
the
his
first
best
game,
start to a season of,
right?
of
He's
his
ever
career.
had, and all of a sudden, you get injured, and so, I think he's going to be a little. If he does get to play, I mean, he's probably going to be like coming out or whatever because he
yeah.
hasn't played,
Yeah.
So he'll be there. But I think with
people-
him not getting as many plays, he can assert himself a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Even with the altitude, man, to keep that. I mean, I guarantee you the guys want him back out there.
Yeah, for sure.
He brings a certain element to
Here's
the
what
game.
happens. And I was a victim of this because I never got to play offense, right, for like a long time.
Yeah.
And then when you get in, your adrenaline takes over.
Yeah.
And you've been playing football for 6 months. Your adrenaline takes over, and you're gassed in about a play and a half. I'm talking about 1.5 plays. You feel like there's no oxygen, like because your adrenaline takes over, and you're.
Yeah.
That's what'll happen with Ed. He'll get out there in that altitude. He'll play like a snap and a half, and he'll be like falling down. It's
Well, he hasn't played in 3
it's
months.
crazy.
Right.
Your adrenaline kicks in,
Yeah.
and you're done, man.
Yeah.
You really got to learn to.
Get overhyped and just
you can't. You're not calmed down.
No, you're not.
Your adrenaline pops, and
You
have
want
no
to make a
control.
play. You want to make a
Yeah.
play. So
So it's going to take him a series and a half
yeah,
to remember that all right, this is a long game,
and we're in Denver.
and we're in
Yeah.
Denver.
Therm, thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the game on Saturday. Yeah, don't forget
Absolutely.
it's a Saturday game.
I
Here.
can't
Don't
believe
wanna-
they put us on a Saturday. That is so
Well, you
messed
knew
up.
that they could not put the winner of the Pittsburgh-Houston game on Saturday because they only played on Monday.
Right.
So you knew that was going to be a Sunday game. So knowing that and the likelihood that they were going to split the AFC and NFC games up, one on one day, one on the other day, it kind of didn't leave much wiggle room.
It's all right.
That's why you like being the 1 seed. You get to sit at home and watch the other team play a whole game and get beat up. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it too. Just before we go off the air, I think like Denver. I think Denver's going to probably want to speed it up a little bit. I mean, they ain't played in 13 days.
Yeah,
How long
they're-
they?
yeah,
they're,
they're gonna
they're-
feel
I mean,
great.
their timing is not
They're
going to
gonna
be.
feel great.
They're going to feel great, but their timing has to be there though.
yeah.
Timing has to be there.
Yeah. I think their defense
Yeah.
will come out on fire, and I
Yeah.
think this crowd and that.
Yeah,
and
they
the
want
weight and
they want their defense out there
and
first.
the
I
fact
think.
they're the 1 seed, and now their fans get to tell them how much they appreciate it. I think this is going to be a madhouse out there.
Yeah.
Thurm, thanks as always.
All
Enjoy the
right.
game on Saturday. We'll catch up with you next week.